feeling entertained about. I mean, I enjoy your practice and I enjoy that we're here together, but there is some mischief likely to go on here in the nearby neighborhood of the kittens. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay, so let's sit quietly. We are going to embark on using all 7 chakras through the practice here. And my aim again is to use an inversion practice and even the headstand simulation practice that we've been doing so that we can really sense the power of the full system. So please rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Remind yourself that the Annamaya kosha is this physical form that we are gifted with, and it's finite, as you know, and it needs a certain amount of care from us. This physical body needs a certain amount of care from us. And the pranamaya kosha, the next layer in, the energy body, this vitality that we share with everything, and we are dependent upon the outer vitality to nourish our inner vitality, like the prana in foods or the cleanliness of water or air. The manomaya kosha, the mental and sensory body, which we might think of as our own, for example, like these are my senses, this is my mind, but actually that's a little bit of an illusion because our senses are interacting with everything around us. The senses are filtering information and we're interpreting it based on our past. So that's where it becomes kind of individualized. But the antennae of our minds are interconnected with the antennae of the whole species, the mind of the species and other species as well. So connect to the manomaya kosha in you. I'm not thinking of it so much as yours and only yours uniquely, but the part of yours that you have to be responsible for. And then that which is beyond this sort of personal. We might call it the interpersonal and the transpersonal. And then deeper yet than that is Vijnanamaya kosha, this indwelling wisdom or a kind of inner knowing that again isn't ours, but is larger than our own knowing. We're kind of tapping into it. Like when a school of fish, they get into that current in the ocean and they're connected in it in this same kind of sensing way. This wisdom is something we tap into. We're more likely to sense it, to connect with it when we're not distracted. And then the Anandamaya kosha, which is much larger than all of that, and which we can't own. I've often said with Anandamaya kosha, we can't expand on it, we can't amplify it, we don't need to improve it, we can't diminish it, we can't break it. It is beyond us and it includes us. Let's bring your hands together at your heart. We have this personal journey, this interpersonal journey, a transpersonal journey. We have the unique capacity as a species to be aware of our journey. I'd like to remind us all that as we're practicing, we aren't here just on behalf of our own personal well-being. We're also here to be then more able to feel the dilemmas that our world is facing and to contribute in some way to the solutions, the collaborations, our shared responsibilities. So we'll chant Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara. Guru Shakshat Para Brahma. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Let's begin. Om Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, Gurura Devo Maheshwara, Gurura Shakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, Gurura Devo Maheshwara, Gurura Shakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, Gurura Devo Maheshwara, Gurura Shakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. You may exhale and bow your head to your heart if you like. And release your hands. And we're going to do a few kriya practices so that we can awaken the body. We'll do a short physical practice and then we'll come into our longer seated practice. So kriya means cleansing. And when we say at the end, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, one translation of that is, may the impurities be removed. May the things that we're carrying around, may the residue or the burden, or sometimes we call it the rubbish, may that be resolved by how we're practicing here. So we're going to go first up with the inhale, down with the exhale. It's brisk for both inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Rest your hands in your lap. Relax any kind of guidance or leadership over the breath. When you feel that your resting breath has been kind of recalibrated or resettled, then place your hands up overhead like this. So we go vertical is here. We're going to go out like the letter Y. So reaching out like an antenna, we would say. In some cases, we put the thumbs up like that because it feels more empowering or more powerful. Whatever you like in that regard. Okay, and kappalabhati. Inhale. Hands up overhead. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Rest your hands in your lap. Accept the breath as it is moving without you doing something about it. This gesture with the arms up is like an aspirational gesture. So now we're going to take this gesture where you push the heels of the hands out to the side, kind of like we could say like a Durga gesture, you know, like pushing things away, saying what you're saying no to, what you are resisting. Exhale, then inhale to suspension. Raise your arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down to your heart. And rest your hands in your lap, and let's do palms face up like this, just the open hand. So there's this kind of what we aspire to, what we're resisting, what we have to say no to, and now what we are relinquishing. You put the palms face up. What are you relinquishing? What is it time to let go of? Exhale, then inhale up to suspension. Raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, come down to the heart. And then rest your hands in your lap and put your hands out over your knees. So there's a firm hold on the knees right there. And using the Ujjayi inhale, please reach up, open your chest, your heart, and your throat. Exhale, curl down and in. So like you're using your cat pose spine. Inhale, roll forward and up. Hold the knees, lean back slightly. Exhale, curl down and in. Inhale when you're rolling up. Take your time so you complete the inhale and the action at the same moment. Exhale, curl down and in. Now moving the breath, same quantity, but a little bit more slowly. My hope is that when you're going up, you have the arms taut enough or firm enough that you do feel that the neck is stretching there, that you are opening the throat. One more time, let's go down and in towards your cat pose spine, please. And then come to your upright seat. Rest your hands where you like. Now please come to kneeling, and you can set up your blanket so that it's comfortable for kneeling, and you'll want an extra blanket to be able to have support for your head. Okay, when you first come to kneeling, you don't need the extra blanket right away. You can have it in the vicinity, you can have it nearby. So we're going to be practicing the lion's breath. And you can think again of Durga, the goddess Durga, for her vehicle, her animal who transports her is a lion. So we're going to place the paws. These are your paws. You make them into fists when you start, and then you spread them out. So you stretch out your claws from paws to claws. You're also going to inhale to a moment of suspension, and then you'll be exhaling. The tongue comes out, the throat is open, and the eyes are also open, looking up like that. Okay, so gaze down for the inhale and come up to a little inhale suspension in the heart. And then exhale out the mouth. Make your pause again. Inhale, gazing down, up to suspension. Three times more. One more, please. And then come back just to kneeling. And you can do like a half smile for a few moments there, smiling at yourself or at all of us. And you can ask again, what are you aspiring to? On behalf of that, what do you have to resist? And what do you need to relinquish? And please place your blanket for your head. So our first go through, what we're going to do is exhale, place the palms and the head, almost like you're doing a tripod headstand. When you come forward like that, it's important. I'm going to recommend that you don't let the shoulders drop towards the floor. So when you're coming forward, if you'll notice that my hands, I put them under the blanket just because it's my preference to do so, but the head goes into an equilateral triangle. When I come onto the top of the head, the shoulders are not coming down towards the floor. They're going up away from my ears. So you can think of it in that way for yourself as well. Okay, so let's inhale while we're upright. It's an ujjayi inhale. And then exhale, palms, head. Check your shoulders. Complete the exhale when your pace is allowing for that. And inhale, roll back to your seat, hands to your knees. Exhale. Inhale, roll to your seat. Try to sense the breath rising up through the chakra system like the gladiolas that bloom from the bottom up. And exhale. Inhale again, one more time. And exhale. Inhale back to your seat. Please interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Roll the shoulders back. Raise your heart up. Now we inhale up into a little back bend. And then exhale, squeeze the belly against the thighs. Touch your forehead and your hairline to the floor. Inhale, roll up to the crown of your skull. Exhale, take your hips to your heels. You can keep the arms lifted. Inhale, rise up to your kneeling back bend, like a gladiola blooming from the bottom up. And exhale, coming forward. Inhale, crown of the skull. Exhale, like closing the harmonium bellows. And then inhale, rolling up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, we'll go up one more time. So inhale, rise up to your kneeling back bend. What are you aspiring to? Exhale. What has to be relinquished on behalf of your aspiration? Inhale, roll up. And exhale down to child's pose. Rest your hands by your feet. And then please roll up to kneeling. All right, let's come up to prasarita padottanasana, please. When you come into prasarita, please reach for your 2 blocks and place them so that they're available for your hands to stretch forward to. And we're going to practice as we were a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, or could have been yesterday. We're going to practice the exhale that becomes the exhale pause, that becomes the exhale suspension. So begin just by noticing the ujjayi breath here, and do your best to balance your inhale with your exhale now. As you're balancing your inhale with your exhale, and that's your first invitation here, notice the length of the breath. You don't have to make it longer or slower or more demanding for yourself. Notice the quality of the breath. So smooth coming in, smoothly going out, and the consistency of the sound of the breath. Now, as you begin noticing those things, let's add awareness of the exhale coming into the exhale pause. And then awareness of how the inhale begins slowly. Same thing for when the inhale becomes the inhale pause and the exhale begins slowly. When you practice with that kind of concentration, you really are sort of stewarding or nourishing the connection between the annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya kosha. To the extent that you feel that becomes smoother and more intimate, your access to the gnanamaya kosha is going to be facilitated, going to be more available. Walk your hands back to your hips and rise up to standing and come into your jazz dance warm-up pose. And we're going to gaze down so that your head is in line with your spine. And now we're going to use the same. We'll have inhale, awareness of coming into the inhale pause, leaving the inhale pause for the exhale into the exhale pause. But I'm going to ask you to make the exhale pause a little bit longer. To do that, when you come into the full exhale, you're going to have released the breath. Momentarily, I will ask you, without inhaling, to deeply relax your exhale muscles. And then you'll tone those muscles again before inhaling. So I'll talk through one cycle of mine, and you can follow me if you like. So we'll inhale smoothly. Momentary inhale pause. Exhale smoothly. Squeeze the belly at the end of the exhale while holding the breath out. Deeply relax the belly muscles. Tone the low belly. Once that tone is there, you'll inhale more smoothly to the next breath cycle. Anytime you sense a kind of rushing in the breath cycle, you've probably gone past the level of effort or the depth of the pause that you would be wisely encouraged to do. So as much as possible, don't cause yourself to feel breathless. And press down into both heels. Please rise up to standing. So heel toe in. And just notice what the resting breath feels like when you're in mountain pose. It is an appropriate place in our sequence now to practice uddiyana bandha, which is the full experience of exhale, pause, suspend, uddiyana bandha, a much bigger experience in the inner body. So come to your horse stance now. It's not like jazz dance, just horse stance is needed. Place your hands on your knees. Please straighten your arms. We use straight arms and stable shoulders and hips so that you don't have to use abdominal muscles to hold your position, because the uddiyana bandha suspension requires that you can radically relax the belly muscles as you're whisking the inner body into the bandha. So what you do here is at the end of that exhale that we were just playing with, you're going to exhale completely. You squeeze the belly muscles, then you totally relax those belly muscles that made the exhale. Without inhaling, you make a pretend inhalation. You use the muscles that make an inhalation, but you're not taking any breath in. And that's going to cause this internal vacuum called uddiyana bandha. I'll talk through one of mine and you can follow me if you like. So here's the inhale. And then a long exhale. Don't make it excessively long, but don't make it too short. At the end of the exhale, you squeeze the belly muscles. No breath is there. Radically relax the belly muscles and then make a pretend inhalation. And then you release that. You tone the low belly and then bring the inhale slowly, so you're not gasping for the air. And try it one more time. When you complete that, maybe you've done 2 or 3 times altogether, then you can hang down in a ragdoll position so you can make the feet parallel. And then please rise up to standing. Okay. Thank you for that. Now, Surya Namaskar with anjaneyasana. So I'm just tying my hair back so I'll be able to focus and not feel blinded by my hair. Okay, so place your 2 blankets and let's get these 2 blankets to be ready but the shoulders stand exploration too. So no wrinkles, no unnecessary lumps in the blankets. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara. Step forward, please. Coming with your ujjayi, with your aspirational, your resistance, and your relinquishment. Join the palms together at the heart. As you inhale this time, ujjayi, raise up on your toes, look up, take the arms to the Y shape. And then exhale, press the heels of the hands out as you're coming down. What are you resisting? What's necessary to resist? And then touch the floor or the blocks, relinquishing at the end of the exhale. Inhale, glide forward. Raise your hands to your blocks if they're not there now. Exhale, take your left toes back, left knee down. Inhale, rise up, hands and arms in the Y shape. Exhale, push the hands out to the side, the heels of the hands. Inhale, raise up in the Y shape. And exhale, release to touch the two blocks. Let the hips come a little forward. Inhale, open your chest, your heart, and your throat. Exhale, bowing over your right leg as you straighten each leg. This is a gesture of relinquishing. Inhale, glide your right knee forward. Exhale, clasp your hands at the small of your back, please. Inhale, rise up into your crescent with the hands clasped behind your back. And exhale to bow thoughtfully over your right leg. Lightly touch the blocks. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, seal pose. That's the structure of seal pose. And then inhale to rise up in your seal pose. Exhale, table. Inhale, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot forward and right knee down. Inhale, rise. Anjaneyasana with the arms in the Y shape. Exhale, push out. Open the throat. Inhale to the Y shape when you're ready to. And exhale, bow forward. Touch the fingers to the blocks. And on the inhale, open your throat, your chest, your heart, your gaze. Exhale, glide back. And bow the torso over your left leg. As you inhale, bend your left knee, please. Clasp your hands at the small of your back. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, seal. Inhale, light up your seal pose. Exhale, table pose. Plank pose. Downward facing dog. And step forward. Bow over the legs. Rising up. Once more, inhale, rise up to your toes. Take the arms to a wide shape, look up. Exhale, press the heels, the hands out, bow forward, uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Left toes back, left knee down. Rising up, inhale. Exhale, push out. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, bowing forward, touch the two blocks, open the front body with your inhalation. Exhale, gliding backwards, bow your torso down. Inhale, bend your right knee. The chest and thigh can touch. It's like a cat pose spine. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Lift the base of your skull. And then inhale, rise up like our kneeling back bend that we did earlier. And exhale. Let's inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, seal. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, table. Plank. Downward dog pose. Okay, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, push out. Reach from the center of your heart to the heels of your hands. Inhale, raise up. And exhale, descend. Open the front body with the inhalation. And exhale, glide backwards. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the small of your back, lift the base of your skull. And then inhale, rise up to a little back bend moment here, like when we were kneeling earlier. And exhale, come forward, touch the blocks. Let's inhale, step forward. And exhale for uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. And hands to the chest. So those are really preparatory poses for us to then have enough physical movement to enjoy the shoulder stand here. When you set up, I'd like you to place to do the beginner's version or the preparatory version if that's where you're practicing. If you are comfortable with going off the chair backwards, as we've been doing, you are certainly welcome to do that. Just make sure that you're honoring what your body can do. Okay, so you straddle the chair backwards, slide the hips towards the opening of the chair, Lie down slowly. Move your hair so it doesn't get pulled. And set your shoulders up on the edges of the blankets. Watch out for wrinkles in your clothing that makes the chair feel uncomfortable. And again, for some of you, where you end up on the chair seat, you're going to feel like you have to adjust or put some padding there. That could be like a piece of a yoga mat that you might cut to place on the edge of the chair. But when you get settled here, then press the shoulders firmly down. Bring your chin in towards your throat. And take the legs up. If you're doing this version of supported shoulder stand, you can raise the legs. If you're doing last week's version, you don't pick up the legs. Let the mind get quiet inside the pose. You're nourishing the pituitary and the pineal glands right now. Also your thyroid, the thymus. And keeping your mind quiet so long as your breath and your body find this to be an easeful transition. You can take the legs down overhead to supported plough pose. Keep the shoulders strong, pressing down, and kind of squeezing a little bit towards each other. So your plough pose is not also a pancake pose. And roll your hips back towards the edge of the chair. Take the legs up to the supported shoulder stand. Encourage your eyes and your mind both to be still. The eyes and the mind can be very still. And you can bend the knees to touch the top of the chair with the toes. Touch the seat of the chair with the toes and the heels. If you're in the first version of shoulder stand or bridge pose, now we are joined together as we can say dismount. You're going to go backwards off of the yoga props until your hips are on the two blankets. You can take your shins up over the seat of the chair. Invite your body to come promptly into savasana. Allow your mind to be deeply quiet. The Annamaya kosha is receiving the medicine of the practice. The Pranamaya kosha, having had some cleansing, nourishes you more deeply. Allow your mind and your senses to be still. The senses will experience, but without having to narrate, without embellishing a story about the senses. Allow yourself to rest deeply. Just one more minute, please. You might remind yourself your aspiration, purposeful resistance, relinquishment. And I'd like you to make a thoughtful, personal transition from resting, which was a scenic detour, a scenic little turnout time. Let's come back up to sitting now for the practice with the chakras. Reminding yourself that our dilemmas right now in the human race are really the result of the lower three chakras not being well tended to. What do we have to resist by way of the unfortunate habits of the mind? What are we relinquishing? So we rise up to that aspirational self. We'll do each sound 8 times, 4 times, and then one long one. Let's begin at Lam, first chakra. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam. Second chakra. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. Wam. Third. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Ram. Fourth. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum. Yeah. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Hum. Marie, the sound of the M 3 times. Lift your hands in your lap. Let's do palms face up. Gesture of relinquishing. On behalf of that to which you are aspiring. Join your hands together at your heart. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. On behalf of the greater good, to what do we aspire? Where is purposeful resistance for our own minds to be clear? And what do we need to relinquish? Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.